Hi, it's Lesley here from Indigo Blue with another video for you. So today we're going to make the Spooky Boy card, so I hope you like it. All the things that you need to make this card can be found on the Indigo Blue website, and if you want to craft along, feel free, and please show us what you're going to make. So to make this card today, I've used the new releases of the most wonderful stamps. Halloween dictionary page is just around the outside here. Dreaded Damask, lovely skulls, is this frame here. And the poison labels we've got dotted about here. Pumpkin Monster and Spooky Girl could also be used for this one, but I've decided to use Spooky Boy. I just think he's really cute. I've also used skullduggery borders, and this is an old favourite of mine. I just love it. So to start off, that's what he looks like. Ghoulishly great. So start off, I've got an 8x8 card taped to a board, and I'm going to start with the skullduggery borders. Oh, bit of dust on there. I'm also using, to cut my frame, I've used Spellbinders dies, oval dies. I'm using Distress Ink, VersaFine Clay, there'll be a little bit of Versamark and a VersaFine Crimson Red. So here we go. Start off inking with VersaFine Clay. Plenty of ink. Stamping in, just tapping in different directions to make sure it's all inked up. And then I'll stand up to stamp. So just off the bottom there. Press down firmly. There she goes. So I'm also going to stamp at the top using Versamark, and this time I'm going to use the cobwebs. So a lovely cobweb stamp. Standing up again to get good pressure. Should just be able to see that. And ink it up again. Oh dear, done it in the wrong ink. Clean that off. That's the problem with having everything to hand. Right, back with Versamark, the clear one. And I'm just going to, oops, they're in the way. Everything's in the way. I just want that one over this corner. Yep, that's cool. Right, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah. So I'm going to tip some clear embossing glaze over. And then do the same with the bottom. fluffy brush and tidy up. Get that back in the pot. Right, so I'm just going to heat that. Get rid of the excess. And I'm going to create my background. So with black distressing, just going to put some on my mat over here. And then take it from there with a brush and then just blend the edges. Takes a while to build up. Start off in the corners really, because that's where you want the most. But I start off on the masking tape and then bring it forward. Just to give an atmospheric background. So just building the colour up. I get close to the skulls but just miss them out. I am going to paint over them. I don't need to go right into the middle because we've got the frame and Spooky Boy in the middle. So just to build the atmosphere around the edges. Keep going as much as you want. I think that'll do enough for now. And I'm just going to get a duster, so just a microfiber cloth, and just clean off my cobwebs. So that takes all the ink off. You could do this with White Cliffs of Dover embossing powder, but I just use clear this time because it uses resist and it means that it stays white underneath because the card's white. So there we go, hopefully you can see those. And we're going to also stamp the border. So this bit here I've cut out using oval dies, so just Spellbinders dies, and I've cut out this bit, so just using this is the outer frame, then this is the inner frame, but I've also cut out this one, which is in between, so it would be in effect that one, and that's the one that I'm going to stamp on. So see here. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and then this one out of the way as well. and we're going to stamp our spooky boy. So I'm using VersaFine Clay in Nocturne, and lots of tapping, get the ink all the way across. It's very detailed, is this stamp, and you don't want to miss anything. That should be it. And we'll stand up again. Just hover over and press it down. There he is. So I'll just go ahead and emboss him with clear embossing powder. And then heat it up. Hopefully you can see that. I'm putting to one side for the moment because I'm just going to, right, we're just going to stamp the stamp. So I'm starting on the bottom corner of the piece of card that I want. I'm going to have to do this in 4 pieces to get the full oval. That's the first one. And line up. On the same side. Ink it up. Stamp it down. That's the beauty of the stamping platform. If you've missed a little bit, just the bottom there. A bit fainter than you like. There we go. And then we'll move it across. Ink up. Press down. And move it back into position on this side. Right, that's going to leave too much of a gap, so we'll do that again. Stamp down. There we are. So I'm just going to cut that out. Just be back in a moment. Just cut that out using the trusty Sizzix Big Shot. And so I've used the smaller of the dies. So we use 3 dies. So I've used the smaller and the larger of the three to cut this out. So that bit's waste. That's the frame. And we'll use the bottom bit for something else later. So I can pop that away. And this is the one we want to use. So back to the distressing, and a little bit on here. And all I'm going to do is go around the edge, blacken the edge a little bit. Just round and round with a brush. Just gives it a little bit more of a defined edge. Just a little bit more. Just makes a difference when it's on the card. I'm going to do the inside edge as well. Doesn't make a huge difference, but you can just see the darker edge. Okay, that looks good. So right way up, yeah, happy with that. So I'll bring our card back in. So that's the base card. Oops, something fell on the floor. That's our frame. Here's our spooky boy background. It sits in there beautifully. And then we need to stamp him again because we're going to cut him out and then make him a little bit 3D. So just on a piece of card. And VersaFine Claire. And it's the central image we want really, because I'm going to cut him out. Oops. Maybe find a different bit. This bit will do. Pop him up there. There we go. And then just clear emboss him with the super fine embossing glaze, just the centre. So I'll cut him out. So here we are, he's all cut out and ready to go. So we'll get some water and some paint. So for my paints, I'm going to use the cast colours. So we've got the green cast, the blue cast, the gold cast, also Fizzy Pop, a little bit of gold, a little bit of raspberry, some translucent paint, Lime Marmalade, love that colour, and crushed velvet. So they're all luscious apart from the lime marmalade. So for the little boy, I'm going to use the blue cast. So just take a wet paintbrush, a bit of luscious on your paintbrush, and there you can see, hopefully, I'll move the camera, you can see the colour coming. A little bit more water, and just mix it up. And then just paint him. So just his forehead, down his cheeks, under his chin. Don't forget his ears. And down his neck. I'm going to do his hair as well. And this will just give a blue glow, really. There we go, leave that to dry. I'm going to put a little bit of gold down the front of his face. So I'll just mix a little bit of that. So this is the gold cast. A little bit on my brush, mix with some water. And you can see the lovely gold coming through. I'm just going to pop that down over his forehead and down the front of his face. So on our background here, pop him to one side while that dries. I'm going to paint the same. So because he's cut out, you can still see underneath. So I'll just give him a blue glow, especially his hair. And his ears. I'm going to mix some orange luscious for my pumpkin. And I've cut the little pumpkin out here as well, so the same there. As it's clear embossed, it resists, so it's only the little bits that you're going to see that are not embossed. I'm also going to do his jumper in a mixture of the orange and the lime marmalade. This is an ordinary luscious colour, not a cast colour. Wash that off, and then a little bit of lime marmalade. A little bit of water. Just fill in his stripes. It's just in case these are seen when I put the top one on. And then back to this one. So lime marmalade. to my orange luscious. Just give a nice orange glow. Nearly there. Just missed one of the lime ones there. And I'll pop him to dry for a little bit. So in the background on this one, I'm going to use green cast. And this is what gives that lovely spooky green colour in the background. Not sure you can see that. I'll just tip that up. You see the green glow? So I'm just going to paint this in the back of here. Because of the clear embossing powder over the trees, it'll resist the luscious. So I'm just going to pop that up by his ears and in the background over this side as well. Oops, got a bit of pumpkin colour mixed in, should have let it dry. Pop that just round his hair. And leave that to dry. Come back to that in a minute. So while we're waiting for that to dry, we can stamp the poisons. I'll just tidy up a little bit. So there are 3 poison labels. Just use a spare piece of card. So this is one that I didn't finish earlier. And a stamp block. So we have cyanide poison, hemlock poison and arsenic poison. So we're going to use one of each. And this time I'm going to stamp in red. So a crimson red, good poison colour. So that's arsenic. And we'll go hemlock. And then cyanide. And I'm just going to put those out. scissors. Let's chop them down. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and distress the edges. So I'll just take the edge and just scuff it up. There are little tools for this, but my scissors are already here. Get rid of the rubbish. Oh, cut that one off. Do the others. So these are distressed poison labels, and I'm just going to use the black ink. Doesn't matter if they get a bit wrinkled or whatever. So just take the black ink. So this is distress ink, just black soot. Just go around the edges. Even if they've got little rips in or whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's your 3 poison labels. So we're also going to do sentiment. So I have a little bit of card left over here. And the sentiment is on the spooky boy where I find him, and it's, so we've got being normal is vastly overrated, or too cool for skill. So I'm going, being normal is vastly overrated. And I'm just going to clear emboss that so I don't smudge it. And cut that out. And then give that the black ink touch as well. Get rid of the rubbish. Okay, now then, just going to clean my hands. I've got a little bit mucky here. Can get that out of the way. and we'll go back to our spooky boy background. So can you see the glow on that one and that kill? So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping, and I probably should have done this the other way around. I did last time, but anyway, it is as it is. So going back to our cobweb stamp from Skullduggery Borders, this is just amazing stamp, and Versamark, so the clear ink. And then I'm going to stamp over, just over the top. And there we are. Hopefully you can see that. Then I'm going to emboss that with White Cliffs of Dover, white, true white embossing powder. Pop that away. I've just got a little bit where I don't want it there. And I'll heat it up. And then we're going back to our black distress ink. And round the edge. So this should make, our glow stand out and our cobweb stand out. So let's see how it happens. Just blend that in. Go around all the edges. So that when we put the frame on, everything underneath is coloured. Yep, that looks good. Pop the lid back on that one. Just clean that space. So it's coming together now. I'm just going to pop a little bit more blue cast on his face. Just want it a little bit more. Just in case it shows through. And again on this one. Yep. See how he looks to you. Yeah, can you see that? Right, we're nearly ready to put everything together now. So on our background that we did earlier, I'll just clean this up. I think we've finished with that now. Get these bits out of the way. So this is our background. So you can see the little cobwebs there, and then down to the skulls. So I'm going to paint the skulls in gold cast. That's green, that's gold. So I'll mix up a little bit of gold again. Just pop it on my mat. And this time I also want raspberry for the flowers. So if you see here, there are some roses and some daisies. So I'm going to do gold daisies in Luscious. So mix a little bit of that. And then a little bit of raspberry for the roses. Just mix that up. Sorry, you can't see that. I'll just put there just to the side of me. And I'm just going to paint in the roses. A bit like Alice in Wonderland, really, changing the red roses white, or white roses red. There we are. And then the daisies. Just a little bit of colour there, and this one here. I've left my masking tape in place so I don't make a mess of my border yet. But we'll take that off in a minute. Just thin that out a little bit. And I'll pop the gold cast on the skulls. So just gives them a glow. A spooky glow. So I hope my head doesn't get in the way. There again, because it's clear embossed, it resists, so it only goes where the white paper is. Hopefully that's them all. I'm just going to get a little bit of green This is Olive Grove. Just a tiny bit. Just a hint on those leaves. Yep, I'll just let that sit and dry for a minute. And then we can start to put it all together. So under here, can I find my Stabilo all black pencil? I'll just find that, just a minute. So we just had a minor disaster there. It's okay, I just dropped the camera. But we're all good now. So under here, we've got some little gaps. So just pop a little bit of Stabilo all black. And a little bit of water. And that just blends that in. And hopefully it's dry enough to take this off. That's good. So if you want to, you can leave it like that. Or take the dictionary stamp and stamp around the edges. So I'm going to do the dictionary. But with just grey ink. So I've got, what have I got? Memento London Fog. And I'm just going to stamp down this edge. Or ink down this edge. And then stamp on here. And then I'll do across the top. I should have waited for it to dry. Anyway, never mind. Lesson learned. Wait for your luscious to dry before you start stamping around the edge. And this time, just ink the bottom. There we go, just fill in. That's our border done. So now we can start to put everything together. So we have one spooky boy, some cyanide poison, some arsenic poison, some hemlock poison, a sentiment, our frame, and our little spooky boy. That looks okay. I'm just going to put that together. I'm just going to grab some foam tape and we'll put it together. Right, I just looked at the video and see you can't see the green cast, so now it's dried properly. There you go. You can see the colours. Ooh, ooh. Hope you enjoy it. See you soon. Bye for now.